Good evening, everyone. This is Dana from NexGen, and welcome to Me Inc.
Well, hello, awesome people. Hello, hello, hello. I know it's been a minute since you've heard my voice, but I'm really glad I'm here with Auntie Dana. We are going to have a great conversation on today about shopping. If anybody personally knows me, knows that that's one of my favorite things. So we could go on and on for hours, but on today, we're targeting that we want to be able to shop smarter. What does that look like during the holidays and around this time? How can you be able to save money and still maybe be able to get some of the items that you want and even desire? So, but before we get into today's conversation, I know that she's one of my favorite people. And of course, you guys know her as a part of the Next Gen team. Auntie Dana, say hello to the people.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Ariel, for having me on this wonderful Me Inc. series. I do appreciate it.
Of course, of course. And y'all know how we always say make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you have joined the Next Gen family. And as well as tell a friend because we have some amazing content that is already out. And we want you guys to continue to be able to be wrapped up in all things next gen. So, no, I'm so glad to be in this conversation with you. And as a person that is, as a millennial, because we're on the millennial side, being able to understand how you can be able to budget and shop smart during this season. As you know, the holidays are right around the corner, and what can you be able to do? So, we have a few tips on today just to be able to help you to shop smarter. Uh, as you are in your whether it's food, whether it's how whatever area that you might be shopping in, there are always ways to save. So the first one I'm going to be able to say, we wrote a couple of notes, but the first one is to make a list. And I'm going to tell you to make a list and check it twice. We want you to be able to make a list during these times. You can maybe 10. I know I've been there of going overboard with the if you don't have a list. And so writing down the specific people within your life that in, you're not your 12, cousin remove, far remove, I gotta get a gift for them. No, who are the persons, make a list that are important to you. Not that they're not important, but that are important to you. And you say, hey, I have a list and I also am gonna have an allotment for what I'm going to go and get them before you even go into the store. And so, Auntie and Liz, will they be able to really? I know they'll be able to help us, but as a person that is definitely budget conscious, do Liz help you?
Well, I do the list throughout the year because I'm not only buying for, let's say, during Christmas or the holiday season, I'm also buying birthday gifts. So I'm listening to people because I did read the book, The Five Love Languages. So I'm actually sharing love. So I may give love a certain way, but some people they receive love a different way. So if you've ever read that book, which I highly recommend, it will save you a lot of time and a lot of money. So I'm listening throughout the year as to what people say they want. Now, I am fortunate to have friends that don't require much, if you will, in terms of monetary things, but I listen for something that's near and dear to their heart. So I'm writing out my list. I'm also writing a list for myself. And I'm very, like you say, very budget conscious to make sure that when I'm making the list, it's something that I want. And when I do the list, it's going to be on there for a little while. So sometimes things come off the list. So that's always a good idea when you're making a list. So that way, when you're going into the store, you're not impulse buying. You're specifically going in there for something. And like you said, you definitely want to have a budget.
That's really, really good because that goes into our next one of being able to give yourself that waiting period for making those major purchases. And so, like you said, a lot of times we can be because we're in such fast-paced society, and we're like, this is what I want, I can be able to have it, I'm going to get it. But there's something when you have the ability to be able to hold on. So that's another great tip, guys, to be able to give yourself that waiting period to say, hey, as much as I might want it, or as much as, I really desire it, one, having and understanding those love languages, which is really, really good, in addition to giving yourself that of like, hey, do I really need this? Kind of walk yourself through that process. And so, understanding, I will agree with you, understanding the love languages of people are very, very important. As a person, you guys can be able, as a quiz, you can be able to take online, read the book, as Auntie Dana said, to be able to understand. So, you have different persons within your life where something maybe like is going to be really, really meaningful to them. It might be a card, or it might be somebody thinking like, oh, as you said, you're listening throughout the year. That's a really great relationship principle, in any relationship, to listen throughout the year of what does that person like, what don't they like. So I love it. So definitely make a list, and as well as you making the list, give yourself a waiting period. Well, the next one that we have.
Oh, I was going to tell you, excuse me, Ariel,
No, you're
another
good.
thing about the waiting period.
Mhm.
Now, this actually happened to me. There was something that I wanted, and because I waited, guess what I ended up getting for my birthday? The
What?
very thing that I wanted. And now, I'm telling you, if you ever mention it to anybody, you better make sure you want it. But waiting, so
Ooh.
what you end up thinking you're going to buy ends up being a gift from someone else. So that's
Wow.
another good reason to wait.
That, I'm loving that. Somebody's gonna bless you with the very thing that you've been wanting. Come on, I'm here for that. Oh, that's so, so good. So waiting is a good thing. It's not always a bad thing. I love it, Auntie Dana. That is so, so good. So y'all hear that? Make sure you wait. Maybe there's somebody that's in line to be able to bless you. So that is super duper good. Also, the next one I want to be able to get Auntie Dana's take on it is knowing your shopping season. Now, having a relationship with her, what I know is that she's like, "Who Ariel shopping makes me tired. This is not what I want to do." But the key and the fact of knowing what seasons that you are in, it can be able to give you the ability to be able to save. And so, there are some things in that are considered to be out of season that in turn are really, really great buys. I'll give you guys an example, something that I personally do, whether I'm shopping for myself or whether I might be shopping for a friend, a family member, uh, and a lot of times I'll do it for myself, is that I shop out of season. So knowing your season is one thing, but shopping out of season is another. So right now, I know everyone's getting ready, like we said, of course, for different holidays and Christmas and all those good things like that. Now is the time where I'm getting ready for the summer. So I never get ready in the season that I'm saying, I get ready in the season beforehand. So now I'm at the point of where it might be, if you're going out, I'm looking for a sandal or I'm looking for a tennis shoe. I went ahead and I said, hey, I'm going to want this particular thing I have been wanting. Like Auntie Dana said, there was something that I had been wanting. And I said, hey, it's my birthday. I really, really want this. And I really want to get it. Well, it was out of season. So, what does that mean? It was on sale. And it was much, much less expensive than what the original price would have been had I, one, not waited or waited. And two, it was something that I desire, that I want, and I can be able to wear in the upcoming season. So, Auntie Dana, that just was my personal tip of being able to shop out of season. That's something that I personally do. Can you be able to fill me in a little bit about knowing your shopping season? I hear you saying you're getting different things throughout the year. So, is that what you do, or anything more?
Well, yes. So let's say that you have a friend or friends that you're going to go to a wedding. So since June is a popular month for weddings, that is a good time to get dish sets, utensils, or any kind of um, kitchen supplies. And then July is also a good time to get new appliances and those types of things. So whether you're getting something from your home that you need, or whether you're getting something from someone for someone else, depending on what that person wants will dictate kind of the season that you'll get it. For example, if they want to, let's say they want a computer or a laptop or something like that. Like you said, there's going to be times when it's going to be on sale. And I think for me, another thing, do they still have layaway?
In some places, yes, they do.
Okay. Well, layaway also helps me when I used to do that, it helped pace what I was going to buy, especially if you're buying things for children because they grow and I always buy a size up. So that's really good in my opinion, an example for shopping season.
That's really really good because that's definitely parents, grandparents, godparents. I have godchildren, so my mindset is how could I be able to be better? Because toys they come and go, right? But being able to, they're going to constantly grow. That's the thing. So being able to shop smart, I love that. That's so good. Well, before we get into our next couple of tips, I just want to take this moment and pause and say make sure you join the NexGen family. Share this with an amazing person that you know. You know your friends and your family. They be like, girl, you be spending too much money. We're trying to be helping them out, right? But we want to be able to give them some help coming up in this season. You don't want to go into debt trying to be able to give to others. And so we just want to be able to just present you with a couple of tips as we are engaging in conversation to be able to help you so that way you are not doing that. And so because we want to build generational wealth, that's what next gen is all about. So the next tip that we have, make sure that you guys, like I said, have clicked that button and give us a comment. We would love to hear from you. Is to go mobile. We have these smartphones, and it is something to be able to go onto different mobile apps or different places that you might frequently shop and be able to click the link or be able to get rewards with your shopping places that are your favorites. And so there are even certain apps that allow you to be able to get rewards for your shopping. So you can go in and you can get particular rewards. It's called, and I've used it personally, called Shopkit. And so you go into your different brick and mortars that are under the app. You go in, you get your kicks, and they add up to rewards and points. So I've been able to get $5 off or $10 off of my, shopping purchase because I've added so many kicks up. And so that's something that it's kind of fun too, just to be able to go in and get a whole bunch of points and, to keep adding them up. So remember that when you go out shopping, there are other rewards such as food places that you can be able to do when you do go out shopping and you're out and about going your daily, like, hey, this is a food app. I can be able to add up a certain amount of dollars and I can be able to get a free sandwich or be able to, get something like that. Auntie Dana, what are your thoughts as, I know we're in such a techie world, but with the mobile apps, has that helped you or have you used them in any way?
Well, actually, when you were talking, speaking so eloquently, I was thinking about my Sears catalog and the J.C. Penney's catalog. Those were my comparisons right there. In each one of those, they have their own specialty. So
Okay.
the mobile app, definitely, they do some really good things. Now, I will start with the negative side and I always end with the positive. The negative side is if you don't have any discipline physically going into the store, you're not going to have a whole lot of discipline on the mobile app. Now, to me,
Mhm.
the mobile
That's
app
good.
helps with my budgeting. So I'm actually writing down the price of the item. And like you said, they some offer discounts when you use specific apps or when you go to that particular store and order off of the online. They prefer it online as opposed to them paying the brick and mortar overhead. The other thing too that has helped me with the mobile app is I can take the price of like if I'm in a store and I want a particular item, but I can actually find it less from someplace else, all they needed to see was it on my phone and they would price match. Some would even price match and add some more money on top because they don't want me to leave their store and go someplace else. So the
That's
Melbo app has helped me out
good.
tremendously.
That's so good. And you literally hit my next one of comparison shopping. So
Oh,
you're
I
right
see
on track.
how we gel together like that.
We're right on track. But no, I think that's good because a lot of times, even in like shopping and wanting to shop smarter, we like, oh, it costs this place and it might cost $30 more. Like, well, no, it's $30 more. Get your $30. So a lot of times we think us having something to be compared, is putting us out. Like, no, no, no. Get all of your coins, okay? So that's really, really good. You read my mind, being able to comparison shop and go ahead and look for those prices that are less. Say, hey, I saw this for $10 less, and get your $10. Every dollar counts. So you definitely read my mind. Well, because we've been talking about mobile apps and being able to price things, make sure the next tip that I have is find your coupons and don't leave the promo code box empty. So if you're shopping online, or even sometimes I even do it in store, like, hey, y'all have coupon. But if you're online and you're shopping or on your app, note is a space for a promo code. I will Google a promo code in a second. They call me the coupon queen because I always like to save, but there always is somewhere, somehow there's some code for you to be able to save. So always look for codes to be able to, get and save your money. Do promo codes work for you, Auntie?
Yes. I was on mute.
You know.
One of the promo codes that I like, I think it's called ID.me, and that's for, I think, for military, teachers, and first responders, and they can actually go through that portal and they can save additional money on the items that they would normally purchase. So definitely, the stores offer discounts as well as affiliate um, codes that you can use. Definitely don't walk away. And I think there is this, I'm not going to call the company's names, but if you like soaps and candles and different things, they seasonally put out their promo codes. So definitely, when you go online, look for that and ask for it. They want you to buy their stuff.
Absolutely. They absolutely want you to buy their stuff. And so because we're in a consumer, driven society, because people want you, just know what you're buying. And also when you do go, whether you're online or in the stores, there are certain stores because we're growing and learning. There are certain stores, such as maybe furniture stores and other things like that, that you would not think that would even have, as you stated, like military discounts or things like that. I am now being able to do you have this discount, or do you have, I say, a student discount, be it in school, or do you have a military discount? Always ask. It costs nothing to ask. So that's really, really good. There also is a being able to, this is the part I will say, I will raise my hand, that we don't like adding it up. This is the one tip that we don't like, because we get a flood of emails all the time. I know I do. I get so many emails per day because they want you to spend. But being able to look at what everything costs. You've now had your promo code, you've added that in there, you've gone on your app, you've done all of those things. Now it's important for you to be able to add it up. Because there are some things, like some sites that cost you to ship things back. There are also maybe some persons that might, add more to
That's a good
shipping.
point. That's a good point.
Yes, ma'am. So being able to add it up, because you are helping your niece and all those of the millenniums, as you call us, being able to to add this up. Because there are sometimes I raise my hand, y'all. We're in generational wealth, but there are times where I might be in the store and oh, I'm just putting stuff in the cart. It just makes me like, oh, I'm just gonna put it all in the cart. Then on my way to the register, I get like this light bulb moment of like, okay, what do you really need? And so then I begin to put, as I go back around the store, you begin to put things back because you're really saying, okay, I don't need. And then there are some times where there are things, maybe like we said, the Thanksgiving holiday, you're going to need that cheese, you're going to need that butter, you're going to need those eggs, all of these things that you're going to need. And being able to add it up to be able to make the pie that you make that everybody loves oh so much. So, being able to add it up, what is that one thing that you can be able to give us, auntie, as we're adding things up so that way we don't get too far off on smart shopping?
Well, actually, there's a couple of things, if I may. Um, one,
Absolutely.
one is I don't know if people have noticed this, but I think it's called shrinkage. And this is what I mean by shrinkage. When I went to go buy my oatmeal that I normally buy, oh, let me start with this. This is before this year. A couple of years ago, when I would buy a bag of sugar, it was 5 pounds. Now, when you go to the store, if you're not paying attention, they actually change the packaging to 4 pounds.
Wow.
The other day, I went to go get some, oh, I'm sorry, I went to go get some oatmeal, and it's usually 10 to a box because it's the instant oatmeal that I eat. And so I actually had that as part of my meal prep. And I noticed that the packaging was kind of weird. It was kind of slender and sleek. Well, the reason why it was slender and sleek was because instead of 10 packets, it actually had 8. So again, it
Wow.
adds up. And the price was the same, but what you received was less. That's one thing. And another thing, when you go shopping, if you see something for 14.99, your mind says $14, but really what it is $15. So, like you said, it does add up.
It definitely, that's really really good because I know we also have like some savings things, and as well as even we have some budget things on our channel to be able to, you guys can go back and look at. But it really does, just how you said, reading really is very even important when we are wanting to shop smarter, because it's even within, like you said, within the supermarket. I went the other day and I was reading, okay, this is that, this is the other. It was to be able to read like how much you said something with less the amount and being able to be more for the money. It was something just as simple as, like you said, sugar, something as simple as seasoning. And so I was like, wait a minute, this is the same seasoning for almost um $5. It was like 4.80 something, I think. That used to be maybe a usual $2 and some change. So, something like that. But even I'll give you guys even this tip that I personally do. Now they're not sponsoring us, and so I'll just be able to give you the names without giving you the names. There are places such as your local um, shopping store that you wouldn't think that has maybe seasonings or things like that that are less expensive. So I know the holidays are coming out. You guys know we have a couple cooking videos that are going to be coming out, some shorts. Make sure you watch them. But I go ahead and I personally go to places that you don't think would have your retail stores that would have seasoning. So a lot of times it might be your home store, or it could be just your like I said, a retail store that you might frequent. They have seasonings. I'm telling y'all. Now, in the comments, if y'all want me to be able to say who they are, by all means, give us a little message, and we'll be able to tell you where to find those savings. But it's going to be able to help you. So as opposed to paying almost $5, you can be able to pay, $3 and some change. So adding it up is very, very important
Good.
as
That's
well.
good stuff. That's
Yeah.
really good stuff.
Absolutely, because it really does add up. Like seasonings and cheese, and I put seasoning, cheese, and some eggs, and I think some milk and something else. And it was like $65, and I'm sitting here like, Where is the 65 worth of food? But being able to just shop smarter, you can even get noodles in other retail places or things like that. That's where you try, because you never know, that might be the place where, like, okay, I can go there and get that. And also, I'll say this as well, another way to be able to save, uh, in addition to the tips that we've given today, is also through your going to, like, your local dollar store, your local place that might cost $1 and some change. They could be able, some of the same brands, y'all, are within the store that is $1 and less, or $5 and less, or $10 and less. And so, being able to look at those retail stores as well, and being able to see, there might be something that catches your eye that just really, really works. So that is good. Auntie Dana, as we are saving and we are choosing to be better with our money, is there anything that you want to be able to encourage us with about us being able to be better in our savings?
Okay. Yeah, which is really good. This is really good information, Ariel. And if anybody else has any places that they think are good places to shop to get some really good deals, definitely put it in the comment section. Now, you did talk about a list. I have my notes too. Going in there with a list, and setting a budget, which we talk about throughout Me Inc., which is what going in there with a plan of attack and giving your money an assignment. So that's really good. Now, one of the things that I was going to talk to you about was when they talk about paying with cash. Now, a lot of stores um, would prefer that you pay it with cash as opposed to credit card, because they actually pay a transaction fee when you use your credit card. So even if they have the sign that says that they take credit cards, if you intend to pay with cash, some people may have checks, but ask for the discount, because that is a transaction fee that they don't have to pay. So that's even more savings.
Wow.
And then the other thing is that for me, since I don't particularly care for shopping, for those that do, I would set a time for when you're going to do it. What you don't want to do is you just don't want to wander, because you'll see things that are not even on your list nor in your budget. And the way they have things set up is to attract your attention.
Absolutely.
And we say that the B word is budget. Well, the four-letter word is sale. So I
That's the
never
truth.
I never saw this word problem, but I was asking people about it. So I said, well, if you see a blouse, and it's always a blouse, and it's on sale for $30, and excuse me, it's normally priced at $30, and it's on sale 50% off, how much have you saved? So people will sit there and they'll do the calculations in their head. I said, let me save you some time. You're not saving a doggone thing. You're actually spending. So what they do, and hopefully I won't get anybody in trouble, is the markdown of the 50%, they actually marked up the blouse 50%. So don't be snookered by the sale. If you want it, and you wanted it whether it was on sale or not, that is, I think, the test to whether you should buy it or not. It's in your budget, and it's something that you want. Oh, and this is the other thing too, Ariel, is that especially when you're buying the blouse, visualize where you're going to wear it, because I can tell you, back in the day, I would buy things that I have not worn that still have the tags on them. So I think visualizing where you're going to wear those items, I think, helped me.
That is super true. Even as a person that does like shopping, that is a really, really good tip, because, And there are certain times, I will say this, guys, in within your budget, there are certain times where I might have purchased certain things and said, "Oh, I'm gonna have," and it's certain things that you are. We might have to do an in depth, shopping with me kind of video. I don't know. There are certain things that I particularly say
I
yes
I
to.
think we definitely need to have
You
this
think so?
another discussion.
You guys want to come shop with me? Let me know in the comments.
I think we need to do that.
You think we need to do that? I mean,
Yep.
I've been blessed to be able to have people like, "Hey, can you shop for me?" Other things like that. Because a lot of people think that it takes a lot to be able to be cute, and I always say it does not take a lot. You just have to be able to know specific pieces that you want to get. So there are certain things I will say in savings. There are a lot of things that I might do, and some things that I might not do. And so in savings, trends are not always the thing that I am going to do. Whether, there are certain things every now and then there might be a trend that you're okay, oh, these are, I don't know, bomber jackets. They were like really popular like a couple years ago. Now, mind you, there might have been someone at the time I went to a particular retail store and the bomber jackets ended up being $5. Well, I'm like, yes, bomber jackets are still in. So I'm racking up. I've been bought 6 bomber jackets. Now, mind you, it wasn't 6, it was 3, but I exaggerated. But the thing about it is you're saying, hey, I want to be able to be a part of a trend. This is really cute. Da, 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 da. Well, fast forward several years later, I'm not trying to be really funny. How many people do you see wear a bomber jacket now? So there,
Mine's hanging up in my closet.
and mind you, I still had my velvet bomber jacket because I was like, it's really cute. But there are certain things that you have that are going to be staples for your closet. So a lot of times I'll say for men, you want to have a suit in every color. Ladies, have a suit in every color. You want to be able to have certain things that might not necessarily be the most trendiest, but they're going to be purposeful for you. So even whether that's shopping, it's even going for your spices. You need salt, pepper, Old Bay, oregano. Get your certain things that you need, so that way you can be able to be the best that you can. So shopping smarter. We'll have to come with me to be able to see how I shop. That I think that'll be a good video. I'll take
Yeah,
you
I
guys
think so.
along
Oh,
on the journey of that. But it has given me the ability, like, oh, I just want to shop with you, and I'm like, oh, that's really great. But y'all don't know I'm Miss Coupon herself. So,
well,
but
you
yeah,
you brought up some very good points, and there's something I wanted to add on to what you were saying, if I can,
sure.
and that is, you know how people buy a suit in every color?
Hmm.
That may not be a good idea, and this is the reason why. And you probably know this better than anybody. There's some colors that don't look good on people.
True
The
story.
style may be perfect. The one suit that you tried on may make you look great. But there is such a thing, and I think there are people that have marketed this. Maybe I'm talking in the 1900s, I don't know. But they have color specialists, and it actually works. Because this one lady said, well, I can't wear the specific color because it makes me look sallow.
Hmm.
So if you're going to get it in a certain color or every color, make sure that it's a color that suits you, if that makes any sense.
That's a smart shopping tip. It is because every I agree with you. Every color does not look the best, and that's really finding out, researching, going online, adding up, going to your mobile app, seeing what it is. You might have to go in the store and try it on. That's really really good because everything doesn't. And there are some things I was like, "Ooh, girl, why did you buy that?" Or like, you should have not bought that. That was not it. And I very well, y'all know, online you can see something and you're like, oh yes, this is it. You get it, in the mail. You're like, this is not it at all. And so, you find yourself at the flea market, like, can I get $10 for it? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. That's the problem. But
so
I did have some other things on my notes, if that's okay.
sure, absolutely.
Okay. Well, this is something that I've learned along the way, and this is shop alone. And what I mean when I say shop alone is don't combine shopping with something else. For example, if you and I are going out and we're going shopping for something, because it's on my list, we go shopping for that thing. if we're going to have dinner, drinks, movies, or something later on, that can cause a challenge because a lot of times when people are shopping together or whether they've had drinks or stuff, they have a tendency to buy more things. There's a store, and I can't remember, and I know the name of it, I'm not going to say, but they actually serve champagne while you're shopping. Hence, it's become a social event. Shopping, I don't, in my opinion, should not be a social event if you're on a budget because you tend to buy things that you wouldn't have bought normally if you were not with other people. So,
Very, very true. That's almost like pressure shopping, you know?
yeah, so, yeah, you're subliminally, you don't mean to do it, but you're
Right. It
subliminally
just
shopping.
feels good. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And that person that's your bestie, the shopping person, the shopping person is not your bestie. Ooh, girl, that
they're
looks
like,
good
go
on
ahead
you.
and buy it. Like, no,
Oh yeah. Ooh, girl, that looks good on you. Oh yeah, you need to go ahead
like,
and buy that. What the salesperson is telling you is, I need some money and I need you to go buy.
right, absolutely. And you made me think of this point, even when you said like shopping with persons. And if anybody knows me, I probably could talk about shopping all day long. But even you said about going with people, even with yourself, how you said the notion of why you're going, what are you going to get, what's your purpose for getting it. I've even had to be able, because it's something that I do enjoy or do like, you have to make sure that you're going with the right heart. I know that might sound like a little bit extra deep for a moment to say, "Hey, I'm just going shopping," but
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That
um,
that is deep. So yes, ma'am.
I've had to be able to take a heart check, and so there were times it might be you might be sad, you might be grieving, you might feel happy, you might feel, and it's not to say that those things aren't valid because they are, but just a heart check of I've had to be like, okay, no, you're feeling some way right now. It's gonna be okay. But this is not the way that you're going to satisfy what you're feeling. It's going to be a temporary satisfaction. You didn't put it in the cart, you didn't swipe your card, you didn't give the people, you didn't had a good time. But after that, you're having to still deal with the problem. So just make sure that you are not trying to suffice or to be able to overcompensate in another area by spending or shopping. And it's just time when something is good and something is happy, it's birthdays, whatever. Hey, by all means, go for it. Just make sure you're not overcompensating in another area.
You must have been looking at my notes. You because I had on here, don't go if you're tired, if you're hungry, if you're lonely, if you're bored, or if you're upset, because you're gonna like when you go grocery shopping and I tell people if you're gonna go grocery shopping, especially if it's a big list, do it on a full stomach and after you rested,
Oh, it's
because
terrible going shopping when you're hungry.
yeah, because if you go shopping, there's many a times I've gone into the store. I had a list too. I had like two things on the list. Why I walked out with extra stuff, and they put the stuff at eye level. Now eye level for me is 5 foot, right? So
You're like, so they put it at island, right?
so if you whatever you're gonna buy, if you don't mind getting other than name brand, look above and below. They put all the attractive stuff at eye level. So definitely do that and don't go hungry. Definitely don't go if you're upset. Because if you're upset, you're gonna buy something that you would not have bought ordinarily. Oh, and the worst thing, and I've heard somebody say this, and she knows who she is. Retail, what's it called? It retail shop? No, retail therapy. Never, never,
Retail
never do
therapy.
that. Get a
I've used
psychiatrist
those
before you do
words.
that.
So I've definitely
Retail
used those
therapy?
words before.
Oh no, that's bad.
Ah, oh goodness, I've definitely used those words, but I will say, like I said, you just know that you're going with the thought of like, okay, I'm shopping, I'm having a good time, just go with that notion. But I understand, it's quite all right. I've been there too. This, oh my gosh, it was it. Did you have any more tips? This was really really great. Did you have any more
Ah,
tips or?
I think we can just go ahead and just do a summary because you've given a lot of good information. So from the top, um, going with the right heart, um, knowing why you're going out and spending money, And if you're spending it on, oh, I did have one. I did have one. This is something that I do that kind of coincides with the budget. And this store, they're not sponsoring us, so I'm not going to say their name. They give what they call gas points. They do other things too, but you know how high gas is. So what I would do is I would get what they call gift cards. And the gift cards have a dollar amount on it. So if I know that someone usually gets something from a particular store, then I would give that person that particular store gift card. Now, I not only give the gift cards for special occasions, for birthdays, and if I hear someone talking about it, but I also get it for myself because it actually establishes a budget for me. So let's say this particular store that I go to, um, throughout the year, I spent, let's say, maybe $200, then I would get a $200 gift card. That does two things, or that does a couple of things, two or more things. Number one, it helps with my gas points. That's the most, and I was going to go to that store anyway. Number two, that gift card balance gives me a budget of what I can spend. Now, the downside is sometimes you might go a little under, and you just make sure you keep it so that the following year you get another gift card and you use them both together. The other thing is that it's treated like cash. So you got to be very careful, especially if you go over $100. So I definitely am a big user of gift cards, especially when they have them on sale at the store that I'm not going to name.
But no, I think that's really, really good because that gives you that smart of saying, hey, I have $200, I have $50. It gives you in the mindset of like, okay, this is what I have, this is what I'm gonna spend. So, and let alone when you do gift cards and you're shopping online, make sure that you take into account that shipping if you haven't gone like over the amount for free shipping. So make sure you take into account because then you done ate up all your gift card money because you had to pay $20 for shipping. So
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely be careful. And see, the thing is, because now this is the other thing, you brought up a very good point. Sometimes the stores, because they're bombarding us with emails. Sometimes they have a day that's free shipping day. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to spend more money just to avoid the shipping charge.
very true. Very, very true. That's so good.
Well,
We
that's all I have.
that's all you have.
That's all I have in my notes.
That's all you have in your notes. Oh,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
was so so good. As we are, like I said, guys, we're going to be putting up some budget friendly recipes and things like that to kind of be able to help you during the holiday and during the time that you don't necessarily feel like, hey, I have to go over budget to have a meal. I've even gone like on this great platform of YouTube where I might type in budget friendly Thanksgiving or how to be able to make XYZ. The information is there. It's just as being able to learn it. And so you can do a Thanksgiving meal for $100 or under. It absolutely is possible. You can do one for $50 or under. They might even have one that's $25 and under. I don't know. But go ahead and look and see if it is. Just to be able, and also I will say this to be able as we close, what is the gift that you have? And sometimes we think, like we said, knowing people's love languages and things like that to kind of be able to help. But your gift might be in your creativity. So it might mean that you sew or you crochet or you can make some a tip right here is make some cocoa jars for Christmas and give a roll of fresh baked cookies if you want to give people something, make it fun, make it that it's you. And so if you're creative like me, use your thoughts and your talents and your gifts that God is giving you and be with, hey, I want to be able to give you something. So just hey, I'm thinking about you.
I,
But this is
I do have something to share. The
true.
best the best Christmas gift I had ever received, and it didn't, I don't think it cost a lot of money, at least I hope it didn't. But what it was it was a calendar that I could put on my desk at work when I was working that had a picture of my grandsons and my daughter too. And do you know that is like the best gift among all the other gifts. But
Oh,
that gift really spoke to me because we at the end of the day we have to remember the reason for the season, being together, because things are not what we need. We need other people around us.
absolutely. Absolutely. People, this is so good. Let your presence be a present to people.
Yes.
And that means the word, that's something that you can hold, you can cherish, that's your family who you love. And so it's like, in this season that we're in, I know we were talking about so many amazing things. We all like, hey, we like it. We would be able to, hey, I got you something. But let your presence be a present to people. And so it's been an amazing time that I have shared that with Auntie Dana. I don't take it for granted or lightly. Anytime that I'm given the ability to be able to use my voice or any platform. So this is awesome. So y'all said it. Y'all want me to go. Y'all want to come shopping with me. So we're gonna have to figure it out.
I might have to learn how to like it.
I know. I tell people all the time. My one aunt says, "Ariel, you know how we do? We put some snacks in our bag and we keep on moving." So I know all my aunties. I'll be like, "Okay, this is we gonna take it moment by moment. It'll be all right. I'll start you off slow, auntie. I'm gonna start you off slow."
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course, guys, make sure you go ahead, like, love, and subscribe to the Next Gen channel, where we are helping you to be able to learn about having generational wealth in every area of your life. So we're really glad that you guys are here. Continue to keep watching those videos, and we can't wait to be able to see you next time. Auntie Dana, any last words?
No, thank you for allowing me to share this platform with you. Talking to millennials and getting their perspective is, I think, is a real present, if you will. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, I thank you for your wisdom. I do. Until next time, guys, we will see you. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you look out for some awesome things. We're doing some awesome things. All right. Love you guys, and we pray you're continually safe. Be blessed.
Bye bye.
Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can never miss another video.